Hey everyone, John Bozika, Kenny Rhoda along with you here, and it's official, the NBA Finals are over. And I guess the inevitable has come true. The Golden State Warriors sweep the Cavaliers after Game 4 tonight, 108-85 the final score. A 23-point difference, and a lot came out, and we'll start with the number 23 because,
right.
Kenny, a lot came out about number 23 tonight after the game. He was playing with a messed up right hand and by his own fault.
Yeah, we got word via Twitter with Brian Windhorst that LeBron might have broken his right hand reportedly from punching a whiteboard after the Game 1 loss at Golden State out of frustration. He was asked about it in the post-game press conference. He admitted, yes, it was self-inflicted. He had a wrap or a soft cast on it. In the video, go to our monitor, or what's the go through our webpage here, and you'll be able to find
Just go
the
somewhere
video.
and you'll find it. Type in WHVC and you'll find it.
You'll see, and you'll hear the cameras clicking every time
nuts.
LeBron did this with his right hand to get a shot of that injured right hand. So I asked Steve Kerr about it after they celebrated with the champagne, and he was soaking wet. He smelled like champagne. We go back to our days when he played for the Cavaliers. So I pulled him aside and I said, "Did you know anything about LeBron's injured right hand?" He said, "No, what do you mean?" I said, "Well, this is what came out after the game." He confirmed it, and Steve said, "Wow, no, we had no idea." But he told me maybe that explains why he stopped shooting the three-point shot and jump shots with that right hand. And then he told me, he goes, "Imagine that. The only way he gets hurt is if he self-inflicts the injury." So another, I guess, dramatic moment to end this series and with LeBron James.
Another dramatic moment for these 4 years, if this is in fact the end. You know,
Right.
Year 1 you go with Kyrie and Kevin Love being out. Year 2 they win the title. Year 3 obviously things are kind of up and down the entire season. Then this year, no Kyrie Irving, and things kind of were rocky throughout the season. I think LeBron compared it to a favorite roller coaster park of many in Cedar Point. I think the big thing, Kenny, is that there were murmurs of this before the game, too. Some people that I talked to actually said that this was a thing that they had heard. NBA officials had even heard it, from what I heard as well. So word was going around that something was wrong with Bron, and you could kind of tell. I don't think anybody wanted to say it because you never want to come down on him, but I think people could kind of notice it.
Well, let's stop though right here and say this. That's not what lost this series for the Cavaliers. The Golden State Warriors are the better basketball team. They have better players. They have a better coach. They are deeper. They have better shooters. It's a make or miss league. They make shots. The Cavaliers miss shots. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about here. Oh, let's go to Kyle Korver. Three-point specialist, 0 for 6 in this game tonight from the field, and he was 0 for 5 from three-point range, his specialty. Who else do we want to throw? George Hill, 1 for 7 in the game tonight, 1 for 4 from three-point range, and those two guys were counted on big time in this series. They were a big part of the first 3 rounds of these playoffs, making shots, and in this series, they were non-factors, and that killed the Cavaliers. The better team won tonight, and the better team won in this series.
Well, and I think the other thing that you noticed as the series went along is that while the Cavs do have LeBron, who's the greatest player in the world, I don't think there's any disputing that after his Game 1 before his injury with 51 points.
Right.
But, you know, you look at that, every time after that, the Warriors are double-teaming him. They're double-teaming his second option, which is Kevin Love. And you could say Kevin Love is an all-star based on some of his numbers this year. But the bottom line is that with 2 guys that are prolific scorers against 4 guys that are, you know, constant all-stars, defensive specialists, there's no way you can keep up like that, Kenny.
No, you've got to upgrade the talent on this team if LeBron stays, and that's for another day. He did talk about it. He didn't give any answers as to what he might do. He said he's going to talk it over with his family, but ultimately it'll be his decision to make. So, you know, I think it's July 1st is when free agency starts. So, you know, start listening to Kenny and JT 3 to 7 to hear all the rumors from Houston to the Boston Celtics, the San Antonio Spurs, the Lakers, Philadelphia. There'll be some other wild card teams that are in there, and we'll get to that down the road. But yeah, they've got to upgrade the talent on this team if he stays. If not, John, if he decides to leave, they're going to tear it down and they're going to rebuild, and Kevin Love could be traded. They'll try and trade JR and Tristan Thompson and whoever else and keep the young guys.
DeJounte Murray, Joel Embiid, Enes Kanter, they've already sent tweets the way of LeBron James.
There you go.
Recruiting
NBA
him.
players, yep.
You know, they didn't even wait 10 minutes after the finals. Some of them did it. I think Embiid was the first with, like, as time still left on the clock, tweeted out about trusting the process, trying to find a new aura about himself. Kenny, if you kind of encapsulate this year as a last thought, we mentioned the roller coasters of it. We mentioned the 4 years, and we kind of encapsulate that too. But the stress of this year, it really wore on the entire team. It wore on LeBron. It wore on you and I.
Kevin Love.
Yeah.
Tyronn Lue.
You know, I mean, this year was tougher for this team than any year before. And the fact of the matter is that if you look at the series, games 1 and 3, the Cavs had opportunities. And the word that everyone keeps saying is that if they're able to make moves, the difference, again, not that far apart if they can convince LeBron.
I disagree. I think the difference is huge. Kevin Durant, if Michael's the greatest of all time and LeBron's closing in on that, Kevin Durant, when it's all said and done, might be in that conversation as well. MVP again this year, MVP last year. He's come to the Warriors and won 2 championships and 2 MVP trophies. His length, his athleticism, and now the confidence and the killer instinct. He's an assassin out there. I think the talent differential is huge, and if LeBron stays, they're going to have to try and find ways to bring more talent here that is considered superstar talent. This is a superstar-driven league. The more superstars you have, the better chance you have of winning. That's why Golden State has won 3 out of the last 4. That's why the Cavaliers won 1 out of the last 4. And so you take a look at your team and you say, all right, where did we get destroyed? And then you try and find pieces, parts that are considered all-stars or superstars to fill those needs.
Keep in mind that 1 year the Cavs won the title. They came back from the 3-1 deficit. 73-9 the Warriors were that year. They added arguably maybe the, third best player of all time right now to that roster, and that helps in a big way.
Let me just read this real quick. This is LeBron being asked about his hand. What happened? Self-inflicted, he said, post-game after Game 1. Very emotional for a lot of different reasons, understanding how important a Game 1 is on the road for our ball club. What would that have done for us, the way we played, the calls that were made throughout the course of the game? I had emotions on the game that was taken away from us. I had emotions of you just don't get an opportunity like this on the road versus Golden State to be able to get a Game 1, and I let the emotions get the best of me. Pretty much played the last 3 games with a broken hand, so that's what it is. That's what he told us after the game today.
Unlike Tiger Woods at Torrey Pines in 2008, it's a little bit different when you have to use that hand on every single shot.
And doesn't he know you never punch with your shooting hand? Didn't he watch Bull Durham? I mean, come on. I know he's ambidextrous, but he shoots mostly with his right hand. You hit the wall with your left hand. You punch with your left hand. You want to get in a fight, but if you do, you lead with your left hand. Come on, LeBron. I don't know what's dumber. JR's mistake at the end of Game 1 there in regulation, or LeBron going in the locker room and punching a whiteboard knowing he's the most important piece and breaking his hand.
He's Kenny Rhoda. You can hear him Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. He'll be talking Cavs, Indians.
And I don't want to end on that note. I still think he's the greatest player in the world, but it wasn't a smart move. Don't be mad. I know I say negative things, but come on, that's negative. That's on you, not on me.
I've gotten some gray hairs this year. He's lost some hair this year.
Everything's gray with me. Come on, jeez.
Cavaliers wrap up the season, though. Golden State Warriors, 2-time, 3 out of the last 4 now, NBA champions. Their 4th in team history, and a sweet feeling for those that call Oakland home. Again, he's Kenny Rhoda. I'm John Bazika. Have a great night, everyone, and hopefully we'll see you here again next year.